I can hear you now. Kids, what is wrong? Got you. Why are you leaving me? A very good afternoon to you and welcome to the 2025 CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers, coming to you live from the University of Johannesburg, the VW Miller Stadium in Johannesburg, South Africa. We're here for match day 3 of these qualifiers, and let me tell you quickly what is at stake at these qualifiers. On the 31st of August, one team will be crowned champions of the qualifiers, and that one winning team will then book their ticket to represent the COSAFA region at the upcoming CAF Women's Champions League finals. These finals taking place a little bit later on in the year. Plenty at stake, plenty of football still to be played here over the next coming couple of days. And speaking of football still to be played, we're building up to an exciting humdinger of a Group A tie here this afternoon at the AW Miller Stadium in Johannesburg, South Africa. It is two-time regional champions Mamelodi Sundowns who take on Zesco Ndola Queens of Zambia. They are making their debut here in this edition of the qualifiers. Both these teams head into these in this particular match on the back of 3-0 victories in their respective matches. Coach Godfrey of Mamelodi Sundowns knowing very well what the opponents, the challenge the opponents can pose, and so does Coach William on the opposing bench, very aware of what Sundowns can do on this pitch today, their depth, their capability, and the experience they have in the squad. However, I don't want to ruin it for you because I did catch up with the coaches a bit earlier on ahead of kickoff, and this is what they had to say. Coach, good afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. A bit of a break for you yesterday after your opening win. You're taking on a Zesco Ndola outfit who also won their opening match. How are you approaching this one?
Yeah, we know it's not going to be an easy game, you know. I said it last time, you know, playing against teams from Zambia, they always pose a threat. And we're able to profile them, you know. We got the footage and we know the threat that they could pose. You know, they're fast players, hard running, always willing to take the space behind, you know. But yeah, for us, it's going to be, we're going to take one game at a time. You know, we're focusing on this game. We know what we have to do in terms of how to approach the game from profiling them. The team is quite ready. We are quite confident that we'll definitely put a good showing here today. And
where would you say they're mostly dangerous?
Yeah, they are attackers, you know. They are solid at the back, but in terms of their attack, you know, we know they have the the fast players, they have number 17, number 14, you know, we profile them. They have players that are always willing to run, chase anything, but always willing to take the space behind the defensive line. So we are quite ready for that. We know the threat that they could pose. We profile them properly. We are quite ready for them.
Any changes to your starting lineup?
Yeah, we just brought back Zesco Ndola for Pillar. The rest, I think, is the same starting lineup that started against Mtopa from Malawi the last match.
And Coach, I think it's also important to note that your players have immense experience at the championship, at this particular level of the championship. How important will it be for them to put that out on the field of play today?
Yeah, we know the experience that we possess in terms of the players that we have, but also we know that what happened in WAFCON, but also it's an opportunity or possibility for redemption, you know. We know in terms of the experience they bring to the team, they'll help all the young players that we have within the team, you know, so that we have overall experience, you know, they impart that knowledge and experience to the young ones. Hopefully they help the team to win the tournament so that we still get a possibility and an opportunity to go to CAF Champions League.
In your opening match, Coach, you spoke about the need to improve on certain areas. What did you work on, you know, touching on the fact that you want your players to play a better brand of football?
Yeah, I think we played a brilliant match the last time. I think we played with total control and dominance. Yeah, but it's an open secret that the conversion ratio was very low. I mean, if you check the chances that we've created, you know, vis-a-vis what the scoreline says, it's not a true reflection of the game. Yeah, but we'll take it. We know we've been working on our finishing. We're always hoping that it will come through for us, you know. So even today, we are hoping that we'll actually make sure that we score the chances that we create.
Thank you, Coach. Have a great game.
Thank you very much.
Coach, good afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. How confident are you heading into this one?
Thank you very much for me to be here. We are very much confident and we'll take it as it comes. We'll be cautious on them, then we'll play the game.
Coach, both teams are heading into this match on the back of a 3-0 victories in your respective opening matches. Should we expect a high-scoring game?
Not really, but it will be tough. It won't be easy. Even for us, it won't be easy, but you just have to work hard.
Do you feel like the underdogs heading into this tie?
I don't accept that. Football is played on the pitch, but not. Yes, on paper, yes, we are underdogs because this is our first time. But the pitch itself is going to prove that yes, we are underdogs.
And Coach, in which area do you plan on winning the game this afternoon?
You see it. You see it, and we'll be there.
Any changes to your starting 11?
We have changed a little bit in the midfield and up front there.
What inspired those changes?
The two midfielder players had gotten injured, so we decided to bring another same characters in the team.
Thank you, Coach. All the best.
You are welcome.
A very big thank you to both our coaches on both ends of this match as we look ahead to a humdinger of a match. It is a Group A tie between two-time regional champions Mamelodi Sundowns Ladies FC of South Africa, who take on Zambia's Zesco Ndola Girls FC, making their debut here at these qualifiers. I'm going to hand it over right now to Ray Kuhn, who will take us through the commentary.
Thank you, Ntobi Singh. And so the main event of the day, a huge plot moment in Group A. Former champions and tournament debutantes, Mamelodi Sundowns and Zesco Ndola Girls. For the second time at the 2025 CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers. And there was a match before this one. The Beauties conquered Mtopwa by 3-0. Sundowns, Zesco and Beauties all locked on 3 points apiece, scoring 3 goals each. This is the battle to determine who will reside at the top position in Group A by the end of the day. So there is so much to play for. And you would think if one of these two teams are to claim 6 points from 2 matches, they would have 1 foot in the semi-finals. Mtopwa and Beauties opened the Sunday show. Sundowns and Zesco and Ndola Girls, South Africa's best, Zambia's top team. They are the closing acts of this Sunday show, and some spectators have remained behind after witnessing that opening noon kickoff between Ntopwa and Namibia's Beauties. And a few others have come to join us for this high-stakes group battle in the 2025 CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers. And the Zambian outfit, Zesco Ndola, have such a strong supporters base. And a few members of their traveling support have arrived at this ground, and they have arrived with so much enthusiasm. The match to determine who summits and lands first in Group A is only just a few minutes away. A few Sundowns supporters in the mix, family members of players. Masamula Morake there, colleague of SABC Sport, and another promoter of women's football on the continent. And the cameras are definitely out for this match. And that is the team that won that opening match today. They were on song. Boy, were they on song. Beauties beating Ntopwa by 3-0. All 3 goals were scored in the second half. And you would think, considering how Mamelodi Sundowns and Zesco Ndola went about their business on Friday, we should expect a boatload of goals this afternoon. The most successful team in this competition's history against the new girls, the debutantes. It is a compelling matchup on paper, but will it prove to be so on the field of play? And it is so fitting that the pick of the matches this weekend is the 6th and final match of the weekend. Whatever the result may be, the other 8 teams should take notice. The top 2 teams in the supposed group of death, itching to announce their arrival for the 2nd time in this competition. Mamelodi Sundowns and Zesco Ndola girls earned their perfect starts to this CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers, but victory will be more challenging to come by today. Mamelodi Sundowns in their Brazilian attire, Zesco Ndola in the green and orange. Sundowns outclassed Ntopwa. Zesco Ndola just had too much for Namibia's Beauties. But how do these 2 winners of round 1 match up against one another in the here and now? Whatever happens in this one determines the outcome of their aspirations to be amongst the continent's best. And for Mamelodi Sundowns to be the continent's best once again. There will be another opportunity for points, another opportunity for a possible rewrite and redo if things don't go according to plan today. But we'll have to wait and see. Mamelodi Sundowns was spotless on Friday, and so the starting lineup has not changed much. Kutsopila is the only player to drop to the bench, and to replace her is an experienced Banyana international Tisetso Makubela. Ramalepe, Sana Hadebe carry a threat on the flanks. Esani, Mtandi, Khariete, Rabale and Tolakele are all as sharp as can be. And Gimo Grace from Zimbabwe is the lady in charge of the matters on the field of play. And those are your 2 VAR officials for our 2nd match of the day. A truly useful technology. It wasn't really called upon to overturn a decision in the first match, but there was a few penalty shouts here and there. And time for the toss. Zesco Ndola Chitindu, their captain, wins the toss. And this is how they line up. 3 changes to the Zesco unit that zapped 3 goals against the Beauties. All 3 of those changes surface at the business end of the pitch as Dorothy Yamba, Charity Mubanga and Mulubwa start for the first time in this competition. A few tantalizing talents on the bench. Enterprising attackers like Godfrey Sapula alluded to in his pre-match interview. But he's got a packed and powerful bench himself. Throughout the weekend, the best of our southern region have taken to the field. Sundowns and Zesco Ndola do so for the 2nd time in 2 days. But this time, both units are better acquainted with the competition. So much noise generated in the stands. Plentiful spectators have found their seats. Some are still locating an empty spot, but the anticipation is rife for this game. We've been waiting all weekend long for this Group A affair between Mamelodi Sundowns and Zambia's finest. Rabale will get the show on the road. Both sides known for their fast starts. Seconds away from kickoff. Gimo Grace has a look at her watch. Starts the time. And we are ready to go. Rabale gets to the show underway. Mamelodi Sundowns. Kickoff left to right. And a warm afternoon to you and yours. If this is the 1st or the 6th time you're plugging into the pulse of women's football on the continent, welcome along for the pick of the matches so far in this competition. Both teams were quite literally flawless in round 1. It remains to be seen if that will be the case today. Mbane gives it away. And Piri is fouled. She did score the 3rd goal against Windhoek's Beauties on Friday, did Piri. She is a handful. And both outfits have got players in form all around. Yamba being one of them, although she came on as a substitute. Dorothy Yamba puts the ball into the box. Dlamini comes out to gather for the first time. Dlamini hardly made a save of any real significance against Ntopwa in round 1. Her defense did a sterling job to stifle the Malawians. And for the 2nd time already, Bambanani Mbane has given the ball away. She did have another fine and smooth display, did Mbane. She plays in that centre-half position together with her national teammate at the Banyana level, Zisetso Makubela. If you can recall, she made that absolutely wonderful goal line clearance against Nigeria in the semi-final of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, and she had no right to make that goal line clearance. And Kutsopila will feel slightly hard done by. She was very impressive in the first match, but she finds herself on the bench for this one. And in goal for Zesco Ndola is Hazel Nali. We know that Mamelodi Sundowns have quite a few players in the national setup. Same applies to Zesco Ndola for both the senior team and the under-20s. And here is their captain, Chitundu, who scored, of course, against Beauties on Friday, and she also picked up the Player of the Match award. The other captain, Ramalepe, was full of running against Ntopwa. And the Zesco Ndola girls, their coach is very well aware that they are indeed the underdogs for this match. But embracing the underdog mentality might just provide a route to the semi-finals. We'll have to wait and see. Here's Melinda Khariete. Good strength. Rabale tries her luck. She's closed down. Wasn't quite at her best, Rabale, in that first group match. But she only requires a moment. She can produce a moment of unbelievable quality in the blink of an eye. And that's why she's been one of the best players, if not the best player, in South African club football. It was a dangerous back pass. Lamini was miles off her goal line. There will be some nerves for this match. Both teams knowing full well how important it is to not only win, but at least not to lose this group affair. Charity Mubanga couldn't get there before Dlamini. The group phase of these qualifiers really have discovered another gear today, especially after that performance from Namibia's Beauties earlier on. And he'll be hoping that his team can make a real statement this afternoon. William Zulu stated with confidence that he really believes in his girls. He believes that they have the capacity to challenge Mamelodi Sundowns. But the time for talk is over. And when the fixtures were released, Zesco Ndola girls would have been both excited and anxious to take on Mamelodi Sundowns ladies. Mtandi was incredible against Ntopwa. Mbane. And already that Sundowns defense being pressurized, being pressed, unlike Ntopwa were able to do. Tolakele did get a brace in round one. That was her first touch of the football. It's opened up here for Piri. And Mulubwa prevents it from going out. Mulubwa down the line. Hadebe is there for Sundowns. She's really grown into that role at left fullback. She had to, ever since Murifi went on to discover new pastures. And Murifi was an absolute workhorse for Mamelodi Sundowns on the left-hand side of their defense in both phases of the game. Hadebe is still rather young, so she is still growing into that role. But for now, here is Charity Mubanga. Free kick opportunity from a mile away for Zesco Ndola. Charity Mubanga up towards the edge of the box. And then Chitundu got her foot to it. teams really do wait months for this. These two in particular have been itching to take part and to possibly take over in the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers. Mamelodi Sundowns have done so before. Zesco Ndola hoping to replicate the feat of fellow debutants of last season, UWC. We missed both these teams in the last edition in Malawi, and it's good to see them here. Mamelodi Sundowns returning, Zesco Ndola here for the very first time and making some statement. Milena Khariete starts again, and there is the lead supporter of Zesco Ndola blowing his miniature vuvuzela, although it isn't the traditional vuvuzela, one would say. Isani yet to get into the game. Chalakele nearly got on the end of that one. Matandi closed down. Piri has seen a lot of it in the opening exchanges. Soko. Yana tries to delicately touch it to Mtandi. She's got it again. Does Biana? Sundowns captain. Biana turns, moves the ball forwards. The knockout stage is looming, and soon there will be a cut-off. And the brief cross-border adventure will end for 6 aspirational club sides. But aspiration and ambition can only take you so far when the best in the game are involved. Ten minutes have come and gone. An even affair so far. Bane. Zesco Ndola are clearly more structured and organized than in Topwa. Here goes Hadebe for the first time, ventures down that left-hand flank, and she will receive a throw-in of Mable Bwauya. Rabale. And then Hadebe again tries to squeeze through across. Rabale might be able to do so. It's brilliant stuff from Rabale to skip past the marker. Khariete just didn't quite latch onto it. As for Godfrey Sapula, this is his first taste of continental competition as the head coach of Banyana Bastille. Sundowns do have an unblemished record in this competition to protect, but every time they step out there on the park, their undefeated record in regulation time, that is, in this competition, is placed on the line. And it is unlikely, but it certainly is within the realms of possibility for Zesco Ndola to cause a seismic upset. Mamelodi Sundowns have lost twice in the local league season. Look at this very, very high line by Zesco Ndola girls. The referee also helped them in that respect. Goalkeeper has called for it, then she eventually claims it. After taking a late knock by Melinda Gariete. Hazel Nali is not comfortable at all after colliding with Sundowns number 11. And Piri could have done much better with that clearance. As you can see there, she clearly collided with the upper shin or the knee of Gariete. And Soko is showing some concern for her teammate. We saw a plethora of stoppages in the first match. As for William Zulu, he's relaying some instructions to Mulenga and Chitundu. And this is the crowd that is making most of the noise. Let's go Buccaneers. Did claim some would say an upset victory over Mamelodi Sundowns yesterday. Over the men's side, that is. Some semi-final that was. It was pushed all the way to a penalty shootout. None of that in this match. Only the 90 minutes to decide who will occupy top spot in Group A. Nali has found her feet. There were just 2 balls on the field. So Soko was forced to wait. Piri. There was good defensive stuff there by Makubela. Might not be enough. Seems like Zesco Ndola have a real chance here. Ball into the box over the head of Chitundu. Now Piri, who was offside. But it just opened up there. Makubela caught out in a precarious position. And in fact, it was Chitundu that just drifted offside. She is a midfielder, but she plays as if she's another striker. Or just off the shoulder of the striker. That is Chitundu. Foul there on Tolakele. They would want to keep a grip on her and deny her any real sighted goal. It's easier said than done, of course. And although Tolakele got a brace on Friday, she could have easily bagged 4, maybe even 5. But so far, the game plan working perfectly for Zesco Ndola. The game plan, which is quite clear. Pinch the ball in the midfield. Construct a few counter-attacks where Mamelodi Sundowns don't have too many bodies at the back. There is a way to defeat this rather imperious Mamelodi Sundowns team. But will Zesco Ndola girls find it today? And it's safe to say that Mtandi is in the form of her life. Here's the other Piri, the centre half. Rama. Finds a ball to Mtandi. His sticks. This time Mtandi pumps it down the channel. Tolakele was making the run down the channel, but she wasn't found. Mtandi again for Sundowns. Here's Soko. Here's Mulenga. And now Biana, who wants to assert her dominance in the midfield. She goes further. Biana, good spot. Chance. Huge opportunity. Will it fall for someone? Perhaps Rabale. Biana went for goal and scuffed it. Expect this defense to be more stubborn than in Topwa. Esani, Tolakele, Rabale on the volley! What a goal! What a goal! And what a player! It didn't take her long at all. Mamelodi Sundowns break the deadlock, courtesy of their Diski queen. The technique, outrageous. And it's her first goal of the competition, and what a goal it was. But are we even that surprised? Are we really that surprised when Rabale does something like this? Second assist of the tournament as well for Tolakele. It's what you call hold-up play. Bringing your teammates into play, and Rabale does not need a second invitation. Just when you thought Zesco Ndola were going to hold firm and test Mamelodi Sundowns and not allow them to score anytime soon, Rabale has gone on to do something rather special. And now they look quite comfortable. Embedded into the contest now, Mamelodi Sundowns. It only takes them one goal to get going. And they've got the one they were after. As for Zesco Ndola girls, it's simply about pressing the reset button now. Can't afford Mamelodi Sundowns to be given the chance to run away with the game, to run away with the 3 points. Isani. Melinda Griete to Rabale, who goes down in the box. And she is the one that committed the foul, according to the referee, Gimo Grace. Rabale is bemused. And I don't see how Rabale was the causer of that foul, the instigator of the challenge. Makubela, fierce and tough. She has to be, because this Zesco Ndola unit is tough as nails. We do know that Zambian football is at an all-time high, and yet their vision, the vision of clubs like Zesco, are yet to be attained. But Zambian talent is some of the finest talent you will come across, not only in the southern region, but across the continent too. Ramalepe conceding a cheap one. And she was not to be fooled or beaten, and held back. Piri. Piri has seen the most of the ball out of anyone else dressed in green and orange. And it's no surprise that she takes charge of this free kick. She did score against the Beauties, albeit from the spot. But she is somewhat of a set-piece specialist, they say. Piri goes for it. Flamini catches and makes sure that she doesn't take the ball across the line. Not a bad attempt by Piri. The least you can do is to make the goalkeeper work, and that's exactly what she did. Makubela Rabale with the dummy. Hadebe just didn't have the steam or the pace to keep it in. Biana wins the header. Makubela heads it back to Dorothy Yamba. Mulenga can't trap it. Zambia and South Africa are regular foes, whether that be in the club or the international domain. These countries and clubs from these countries are at the very forefront of the women's game on our continent. Bane, great pass to Mtandi. And then Tolakele can't keep the move alive, can't keep it moving. Before the competition started, Tolakele was also in a good goal-scoring touch for Sundowns. Against the likes of Amaturks, UCT. Rabale to Mtandi. She's going to push it towards the byline, and she's just shepherded out of play by Soko, who made her power count and put her body in the way to separate Mtandi from the ball. Jacqueline Chomba. Rabale was stationary. Tolakele, not so much. These defenders always need to be on their toes, always on alert, wide-eyed and bushy-tailed when you take on Mamelodi Sundowns. Ramalepe into the box. That is some pass by Ramalepe, and then Esane can't capitalize. Bane steps in. Bane bends it around the defense. Hollywood pass, what a touch! And nearly a Hollywood finish. Everything was excellent up until the final moment. That pass from Mbane was jaw-droppingly good. Esane did well to chop back to create the space. As for the goalkeeper, Hazel Nali, she did ever so well to smother the opportunity. And it seems like Sundowns are establishing their groove now. A crowd of bodies at the edge of the 6-yard box. Rabale might win it, and Bane does win the header. She did score from a corner kick not too long ago. against Tanzania in the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. And this A.W. Miller playing surface is not the same pitch Sundowns and Zesco performed on Friday, but the turf has held up quite nicely. And the groundskeepers here have done an excellent job to maintain the surface. Have a look at that from Mtandi. It's captivating stuff. Esane maybe again, and she's denied again by Hazel Nali. Charity Mubanga decides to go on her own. And the ball just going too far ahead of her. Godfrey Sapula applauding. He wants to see more though. So this is the earlier attempt. Tolakele again with a crafty little pass. And then Esane was denied by a very alert and observant goalkeeper in Hazel Nali. As has proven to be the case already, it's going to be something special. It's going to take something special to beat her. And it took something special by Rabale. And it seems like the goalkeeper has taken a blow to her inner thigh region. And this is what has caused the knock. Esane didn't get to the ball first, but she did leave quite a bit on. Nali, international goalkeeper for Zambia. Godfrey Sapula just saying something to Tolakele. Rabale quenching her thirst. "30 minutes on the clock. Mamelodi Sundowns, the superior team so far. In every facet of the game so far. And they maybe need a plan B, Zesco Ndola. A plan B that they will be hoping that William Zulu can provide. And after that water break, so many of their players were missing, but they're back on the field now. There's Hadebe. Sundowns wanted to unleash a sneaky attack. Ramalepe, good ball inside. Viana has another bite. So Mamelodi Sundowns still yet to concede in this competition. Zesco Ndola conceding for the first time at the CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers, and they have felt the wrath of Rabale. It is like second nature for these two teams to play on the front foot. They don't really know how to play on the back foot, which perhaps explains why Zesco Ndola have struggled in the opening half hour. Here goes Piri. Overbakes it. Mbane, after giving those two passes away in the opening 5 minutes or so, she hasn't given the ball away once, and she's produced a couple of crisp passes. Kubela. In terms of goal attempts, 4-0 for Mamelodi Sundowns. 3 shots on target already for the Brazilians. Zesco Ndola yet to make Dlamini work. Ramalepe. Tandi. Bani just leaning over Charity Mubanga. Khariete in the pocket. Tolakele. Turabale might look for Tolakele again. This is sweet stuff. Tolakele across the face of goal. Just too far away for the run of Hadebe. But they're showing no signs of slowing down. They do realize the importance of the second goal. And they did get it before half-time against Ntopwa on Friday. And they'll keep on pushing until that half-time whistle is heard. As for Zesco Ndola, they need to find a way to fend off Mamelodi Sundowns, but they need to find a way to attack them in some way. The only way to challenge them is not only to defend, because you can only defend for so long against Sundowns. Bane to Mtandi.
They're coming, the space is behind.
Mbane is not the tallest centre half, far from, but she so often wins those aerial duels. Not to mention, she's one of the best ball-playing defenders around. Biana, a staunch midfielder.
Let's decide. Win. Let's think.
She has tasted continental success before, Biana. Rabale, countless times before.
Wait and look at the situation. Just be patient with the ball a little bit.
Godfrey Sepula calling for patience, observing the situation before choice is taken. 10 minutes to go before stoppage time of the first half. Rabale curls it in there. Khariete tries to win the header. Dorothy Yamba under pressure now. Zesco Ndola, they really are feeling it. That's a good steal though by Piri. Quiet afternoon again so far for Banyana and Mamelodi Sundowns #1. Here goes Mulubwa though, she might be tested here. Bane wins a crucial header. Kolosabiana. Rabale moves it along to Hadebe, who is on the charge on that left-hand side. Just took away with touch. Mamelodi Sundowns afforded in top one no chance whatsoever on Friday afternoon. They've afforded Zesco Ndola girls no chance whatsoever in this match. But that is until this point. Looks to be offside, Mulubwa, but the move will continue. And then the flag does go up. And Godfrey Sepula also alluded to the fact that the 3 goals Mamelodi Sundowns scored against Ntopwa didn't tell the full tale of that story. It didn't paint the full picture of their dominance on Friday. And so far, they've bossed proceedings yet again. But they do only have the fragile 1-goal lead. Bane calling for Ramalebe. Tolakele. She started on the left-hand side on Friday. She was far more efficient there. She starts on the right-hand side here today. Probably not her favorite position, but it's a position she's caused some devastation in the past. That's a sloppy one by Mbane. They only just need a half chance for the Zambians. And they would love to produce that half chance or golden opportunity before the halftime whistle goes. Massive throw there by Soko. Hadebe. Beyond the halfway line, Mamelodi Sundowns go again. Jacqueline Chumba is forced to just kick the ball out into touch. Can't miss her with that striking hairstyle. Hadebe, excellent close control. Melinda Griete is going to go for goal. She drills it and it's on target. But a comfortable stop in the end for Nali. So far, the Zesco Ndola midfield being overrun. Mtandi to Ramalepe. Deflection on that cross might cause the world of trouble again at the back for Zesco Ndola, but they get away with it now. Not Olok Esane. Again, excellent attempt, excellent technique. But not what it needed to be to beat Hazel Nali for the second time today. Dorothy Yamba. It needs to be better than that for Zesco Ndola. Mamelodi Sundowns keeping the ball on the carpet, keeping the ball moving, making the ball do all the work. Zesco Ndola just don't have the ideas just yet on how to topple the Sundowns team, on how to cause them any trouble whatsoever, because it's been an untroubling, rather easy first half for Mamelodi Sundowns yet again. Albeit, it has to be said that a 1-goal lead is a dangerous, fragile lead. And the best strategy for Zesco Ndola now might just be to close up shop. Instead of chasing the equalizer, just close up shop, head into the halftime break with just the 1 goal behind, because it certainly gives them a chance in the second stanza. Charity Mubanga won the header. Couldn't find someone else dressed in green and orange. There's Hadebe, one of their own. Mbanani Mbane, one of the oldest players on the pitch, and yet one of the best. Zesco Ndola are going to make a change here. A proactive choice by William Zulu. Mary Mbewe will replace Dorothy Yamba. Dorothy Yamba didn't start the first game and she couldn't quite get going, chasing shadows in that midfield, and now she relinquishes that responsibility to Mary Mbewe. Slightly different profile of player. Tolakele playing in her stronger position. It's those two ladies again over the free kick ball. But because Rabale touched it, because she placed it, she's likely to take it. Look at that huddle on the edge of the box. Expect them to disperse when the ball is delivered. Just the 2 minutes to go before the whistle sounds. You can't help feel this is a crucial moment in the game. And the referee is just having a word, seems like, with Makubela and Soko. There can be some pushing and shoving, but only to a certain degree. Only within the laws of the game. So, Rabale, if she's going to take this one, she's going to aim for that penalty spot. Instead it's at the edge of the box for Mtandi, who tries to flick it over Soko. She fails to do so. Here goes Chitundu, who gives it back to Soko. Sundowns look stretched. It's a good pick out. They just need to find their confidence in attack. To Zesco Ndola. Soko. That's a nice spread. And nearly a good header. And that might have been the final chance for Zesco Ndola to try and cough up an equalizer. They'll just have to wait, and they'll have to re-evaluate before the second half gets underway. As for Mamelodi Sundowns, this game is far from over, despite all of their dominance. Rabale. Not that time around. The referee has a glance at her watch. She decides we can go a few seconds more. And she calls it. That's the first half. Done and dusted between Mamelodi Sundowns and Zesco Ndola. The match to determine who goes top of Group A and who will take one massive leap into the semi-final stage. And Mamelodi Sundowns have landed the first blow. A blow courtesy of a wondrous hit by Rabale after a clever little assist by Tolakele. But they seem to be controlling matters, especially in the midfield. Zesco Ndola, second to all the 50-50 balls. Second to Mamelodi Sundowns so far, but they only have 1 goal to chase in the second half, so it is still anyone's game. And that's the half-time scoreline for you. Mamelodi Sundowns 1, Zesco Ndola 0. In terms of goal attempts, Zesco Ndola girls yet to test. Dlamini, no shot on target for them. As for Mamelodi Sundowns, they are playing on the front foot and trying to add to their existing excellent campaign so far. But we're going to take a break quickly, and then the second half will get underway. The final 45 minutes of the day between Mamelodi Sundowns and Zesco Ndola. Don't miss the second half.
Please come through. Please come through. Oh, good. Dimakato and Temba Gwenya, please come through. I see a Temba Gwenya lookalike coming down the stairs.
To announce their arrival for the second time in this competition. Mamelodi Sundowns and Zesco Ndola girls earned their perfect starts to this CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers, but victory will be more challenging to come by today. Mamelodi Sundowns in their Brazilian attire, Zesco Ndola in the green and orange. Sundowns outclassed in Topwa. Zesco Ndola just had too much for Namibia's beauties. But how do these two winners of round 1 match up against one another in the here and now? Whatever happens in this one determines the outcome of their aspirations to be amongst the continent's best. And for Mamelodi Sundowns to be the continent's best once again. There will be another opportunity for points, another opportunity for a possible rewrite and redo if things don't go according to plan today. But we'll have to wait and see. Mamelodi Sundowns was spotless on Friday, and so the starting lineup has not changed much. Kutsopila is the only player to drop to the bench, and to replace her is an experienced Banyana international Tisetso Makubela. Ramalepe, Asanda Hadebe carry a threat on the flanks. Esani, Mtandi, Khriete, Rabale and Tolakele are all as sharp as can be. And Gimo Grace from Zimbabwe is the lady in charge of the matters on the field of play. And those are your 2 VAR officials for our second match of the day. A truly useful technology. It wasn't really called upon to overturn a decision in the first match, but there was a few penalty shouts here and there. And time for the toss. Zesco Ndola, Chitindu, their captain, wins the toss. And this is how they line up. 3 changes to the Zesco unit that zapped 3 goals against the Beauties. All 3 of those changes surface at the business end of the pitch as Dorothy Yamba, Charity Mubanga and Mulubwa start for the first time in this competition. A few tantalizing talents on the bench. enterprising attackers like Godfrey Sapula alluded to in his pre-match interview. 9. By Zesco Ndola girls. The referee also helped them in that respect. Goalkeeper has called for it. And then she... Piri. It was good defensive stuff there by Makubela. Might not be enough. Seems like Zesco Ndola have a real chance here. Ball into the box over the head of Chitundu. Now Piri, who was offside. But it just opened up there. Makubela caught out in a precarious position. And in fact, it was Chitundu that just drifted offside. Her dominance in the midfield. She goes further. Biana, good spot. Chance. Huge opportunity. Will it fall for someone? Perhaps Rabale. Biana went for goal and scuffed it. Expect this defense to be more stubborn than in Topwa. Esani, Tolakele, Rabale on the volley! What a goal! What a goal! And what a player! It didn't take her long at all. Mamelodi Sundowns break the deadlock, courtesy of their Diski queen. The technique, outrageous. And it's her first goal of the competition, and what a goal it was. But are we even that surprised? Are we really that surprised when Rabale does something like this? Second assist of the tournament as well for Tolakele. It's what you call hold-up play. Bringing your teammates into play, and Rabale does not need a second invitation. Ramalepe into the box. That is some pass by Ramalepe, and then Esane can't capitalize. Bane steps in. Bane bends it around the defense. Hollywood pass, what a touch! And nearly a Hollywood finish. Everything was excellent up until the final moment. That pass from Mbane was jaw-droppingly good. Esane did well to chop back to create the space. It's not the same pitch Sundowns and Zesco performed on Friday, but the turf has held up quite nicely. And the groundskeepers here have done an excellent job to maintain the surface. Have a look at that from Mtandi. It's captivating stuff. Esane maybe again, and she's denied again by Hazel Nali. Charity Mubanga decides to go on her own. And the ball just going too far ahead of her. Godfrey Sapula applauding. He wants to see more though. So this is the earlier attempt. Tolakele again with a crafty little pass. And then Esane was denied. Khariete in the pocket. Tolakele to Rabale. Might look for Tolakele again. This is sweet stuff. Tolakele across the face of goal. Just too far away for the run of Hadebe. But they're showing no signs of slowing down. They do realize the importance of the second goal. And they did get it before half-time against Zesco Ndola girls. No chance whatsoever in this match. But that is until this point. Looks to be offside, Muluba, but the move will continue. And then the flag does go up. And Godfrey Sipula also alluded to the fact that the 3 goals Mamelodi Sundowns scored against Ntopwa didn't tell the full tale of that story. It didn't paint the full picture of their dominance on Friday. Hadebe, excellent close control. Melinda Griete is going to go for goal. She drills it and it's on target. But a comfortable stop in the end for Nali. And that is how we left this match, with Mamelodi Sundowns seizing the advantage against Zesco Ndola girls of Zambia. These two nations often collide, South Africa and Zambia, whether it be in the international format for their countries or for their clubs. And these are the finest clubs of both South Africa and Zambia squaring off once again. And she stole the show in the first half with a wonderful volley strike. She has captured the imagination before in this competition. It seems like she's fully intent on doing so again. Sundowns 1, Abale 1, Zesco Ndola 0. And Isane also had 2 chances in that first half, but she was stopped by the onrushing Hazel Nali. Zesco Ndola need to find a way to get closer to Mamelodi Sundowns, to take the game to them instead of being on the receiving end for the majority of the half. To solve the Sundowns problem requires confidence. If you don't have it, more often than not you come out second best. And Zesco Ndola need to start believing in themselves, because they certainly have the talents. In fact, their captain has been taken off to start the second half off, and Frida Kabwe has made her way onto the park, lining up on the halfway line. This time it's Zesco Ndola that will be kicking the second half off, chasing the game against Mamelodi Sundowns by a single goal to nil. And one must wonder what William Zulu had said during the break. Also what Godfrey Sapula had to say to his Mamelodi Sundowns troops. Much of the same, but they need to up their conversion rates. Tolakele. The pass takes a nasty deflection and a nasty bounce from Tandi. Can't combine with Rabale in the box. Soko was heavily involved in a defensive sense for Zesco Ndola girls in the first half. She'll want to play on the front foot a little bit more. Rabale on her weaker side. She's not going to get her corner kick. So we witnessed 6 goals in day number 1. Only the 3 goals in day 2, and we've witnessed 4 so far today. We're yet to see a match in this competition in which both teams score a goal. Mable Walia. It's helped on its way by Mulenga. Mulubwa. 2v2 here. Charity Mubanga. Mbane is there in the end for Sundowns. That's more like it. Zesco Ndola need to do that and even more consistently and with regularity in the second half, as Sanda Hadebe is caught late. Just a hop, skip and a jump and she is back on her way, Hadebe. It was a real late challenge by Frida Kabwe, and only minutes after coming on, only a few seconds in fact after coming on, she has her name booked. Here's Makubela. Will Mamelodi Sundowns play the same, attack the same way like they did in the first half? We're bound to see the introduction of the likes of Isabella Ludwig, Ronald Donnelly, Magia, who scored in the last match. So there's more threats to come and to face Zesco Ndola. And I'm sure that they are aware of that fact. And before those fresh substitutes are introduced, they'd want to try and get back into this contest. Hadebe. Tolakele spins. Rabale is in space again. Rabale to the opposite side to Melinda Gerietu, who drops it back on her left. And takes too long. Charity Mubanga with the reverse pass to Mulubwa. Now the Mamelodi Sundowns style you've maybe seen this year and in this competition is a whole lot similar to Jerry Shabalala's philosophy from last year and in previous years. But the differences between the two teams is that this Sundowns team is more focused on controlling the opposition and stifling the opposition out of possession. Shabalala's Sundowns side scored goals for fun. And this Sundowns team is a little bit more circumspect and a little bit more tidy with the ball. The best way to attack and defend in this beautiful game of ours is to have the ball at your feet. And although Sundowns are only leading 1-0, they are far superior to Zesco Ndola so far. And that's because of their rather unique ability to rotate the ball, to keep possession for long periods of play, which is a rare ingredient in women's football. Usually there's a constant rush to attack, but Mamelodi Sundowns do it a whole lot differently. They do it with patience and persistence. Hadebe, great pass that was from Asane, and then Frida needed to be careful. Frida Kabwe. But just like Sundowns completely outclassed Ntopwa, Zesco Ndola maybe faced one or two attacking chances from the beauties in round one, and their dominance was quite clear in the midfield. But it's been the complete reverse, the complete opposite today. In the absence of Chitindu, Walia wears the captain's armband for Zesco Ndola. Rabale receives a shove in the back. And a good attacker knows when to stay on her feet. A good attacker also knows when to go down and when to receive the referee's whistle and to receive the free kick. A good player can do both. And in that way, the defender doesn't really know if you're going to stay on your feet or if you're going to throw yourself down to the turf. It makes their job a whole lot more difficult. Rabale bends it over the far post, and I think the goalkeeper did get a meaningful touch. And it's going to go out for a corner kick. She watched it all the way, did Hazel Nali. It was a tricky one for her to deal with. The ball was swerving and swirling. Melinda Gariete was making a dart and really stretching for that ball at the far stick. Hadebe has a few targets to pick out. Mbane wins it. She was the target. Thought about doing the bicycle. And it's a good thing she didn't, because Mamelodi Sundowns have a free kick in prime Rabale territory. There is only one free kick taker for this. And the Zesco Ndola girls are making sure that the free kick is taken where it should be taken, further back than what Rabale was hoping to do. But she'll back herself from this distance. She has scored from this distance before, but there's a different level of goalkeeper between the sticks. A top-class women's goalkeeper in Hazel Nali. I don't wish to place a commentator's curse on her, but she is one of the best. huddle of players in the box. And Rabale is going to go for it directly, and it was on target. It went through a crowd of bodies, but she watched it carefully, did Hazel Nali. And the defenders there did ever so well not to get a touch, not to disturb the goalkeeper. First 10 minutes into the second half. Same pattern of play developing before our eyes. It's worth saying again that Mamelodi Sundowns have never lost a regional COSAFA qualifier before, in regulation time at least. No team has truly upset Mamelodi Sundowns in the group stage of this competition. And a win would pretty much guarantee a semi-final spot, although it won't be 100% nailed in just yet. But Zesco Ndola girls won't be going anywhere anytime soon. And they will put up a fight in the second half. Biana takes it quickly. Ramalepe puts her body on the line and on the ground. Now Mamelodi Sundowns have sent Ronald Donnelly and Magia for a warm-up. Expect those two changes anytime now. Ramalepe. Another smooth operation for her today so far. Not that time for Makubela. Chance here for Charity Mubanga. Still here for Zesco Ndola. Isani, that's how you do it. And Tandi with the flick on header. And with the pass to Rabale. Thought about going the one side, took it to the other. Tolakele, great ball. Isane now. She takes on her marker, or tries to do so at least, and the attack loses its steam. Bane. There was a chance there for both Zesco Ndola and for Mamelodi Sundowns, which once again proves the point that Mamelodi Sundowns are better suited to controlling the game, because once they lose possession, once they aren't exactly in 100% control, opportunities do arise. Sportsmanship again between Biana and Piri. Fierce contest on the field, and good respect off it. Now the only team to have defeated Mamelodi Sundowns in this competition before, not in regulation time, but nonetheless defeated them, was a Zambian outfit. Green Buffaloes defeated Sundowns in that famous final 3 years ago, and in that rendition Mamelodi Sundowns were on a path of devastation in that competition, especially in the group phase. And yet, Green Buffaloes just had their number on the day. But it seems like Sundowns have got the number of Zesco Ndola. Mtandi. Need. Well, yeah. In her midsection. Possibly the last warning for Mtandi. And Ronelle Donnelly yet to score her first goal for her new club, Mamelodi Sundowns. Sent into the changing room, so I think they'll come out dressed in the war uniform. Running through all kinds of scenarios in his brain is William Zulu. But he'll want to change the complexion of this match. But to do so, a response is needed from his Ndola girls. Mbane, Mamelodi Sundowns trying to draw Zesco Ndola girls out of their positions. Trying to bring them into the Mamelodi Sundowns half before popping one in behind. It's the age-old tactic that has often worked for most teams and especially for Mamelodi Sundowns. It's a good ball. Here's Charity Mubanga. She finds another good pass to the substitutes. Kabwe. Still Kabwe, but she's crowded out by Makubela Hadebe and then Mtandi too. That will motivate them. And the Zesco ladies, unlike their counterparts, have no past experience to call upon in this competition. But they should take some inspiration from the likes of Green Buffaloes. A familiar enemy for them, a familiar enemy for Mamelodi Sundowns in this competition. Biana to Tolakele. She's been marked out of the game so far, Tolakele. Although she did produce the assist for Rabale, that deserves a mention. Menachriete is not going to give up the chase here. And Zesco Ndola pull a Mamelodi Sundowns and play their way out of trouble. Great skill there from Piri. Not twice, but then again. Mtandi tried to win a throw-in, which is exactly what she has done. As for Piri, she would have just wanted a little bit more support in this match. Might she get it in the last 25 minutes or so? And there is Godfrey Sapula with Ntabiseng Majia. An experienced international, a true success story. Rabale and now Mtandi. Mamelodi Sundowns are calling for the opportunity to make the substitution. It's not going to be one, it's going to be two. Magia and Ronald Donnelly. Melinda Khariete, another decent shift, but another match without a goal, which will frustrate her. But that's not to say she didn't impress. Ronald Donnelly would love a goal, though. And Tolakele was her afternoon on Friday, not her afternoon today, this Sunday. And in her stead is Ntabiseng Magia. Scored the third goal against Ntopwa to secure all 3 points. And it was a goal that was provided by Tolakele and tucked away from very close range by Magia. But she offers something uniquely different compared to the likes of Khariete and Tolakele. And that is the current lay of the land. With 65 minutes on the board, 1-0 to Mamelodi Sundowns still. Tandi gets fortunate. Sundowns have the advantage by the referee. Donnelly receives a pass from Ramalepe. Donnelly does well to hook and across. Magia. Some attempt would have brought the house down. If that flew into the top corner. But an incredibly difficult technique to pull off. Nonetheless, decent cross by Ronald Donnelly. Usually she's the recipient. On that occasion, she found herself out wide. Funny story about Ronald Donnelly is the fact that her first professional goal for UWC was against Mamelodi Sundowns. And it was a late, dramatic winner. A goal that resulted in the defeat of Mamelodi Sundowns in the Hollywood Bet Super League. But UWC have so often been the bridesmaids to Mamelodi Sundowns in domestic football. And if you can't beat them, these days you join them. Isani through the middle, the pass was on. Donnelly slips it through, but she's offside. She's offside, she doesn't know it yet. No celebrations for now, and she realizes now. Does Ronald Donnelly? Let's see if she was in fact offside. No, she wasn't. Perfect pass from Isani. Perfect finish. So we've got a goal check. And that should be number 2 for Mamelodi Sundowns. It should cement their position in this match. It should cement their position at the top of Group A. It's a goal that they were craving to score just to create much needed separation between themselves and Zesco Ndola. And this goal check shouldn't take too long unless they are checking a bunch of other things. Ronald Donnelly waiting patiently. They haven't seen the highlights, but we certainly have. Would be a strange way to score your first Mamelodi Sundowns goal, scoring it and then having the flag be brought up against your name, and then for the goal to be double checked. Smiles, cheeky smiles on the bench of Mamelodi Sundowns. That was Agnes Nkosi glancing to the camera. Godfrey Sapula, so far so good in this competition. At his first time of asking. He was part of Jerry Shabalala's backroom staff when the Brazilians traveled to Morocco last year. But this is a different time under a different coach, but similar Sundowns outcomes. And The length of the delay is rather perplexing. Perhaps they were struggling to get the footage because... oh no. Offside. Love to see another look at that one. Maybe the linesman saw something we did not. Even the Mamelodi Sundowns bench thought that they were going to score. Thought that the goal would be overturned, but not to be. And it's probably the final warning for Zesco Ndola. Ramalepe. Feeling the after effects of that challenge. She went in quite hard on Mulenga after doing the same against Mulabwa. So Renal Donnelly forced to wait for her debut Mamelodi Sundowns goal, and it's still only her goal that separates these two sides. This time it's not going to be Rabale in charge of the set piece. Esane runs over it again, played short to Mtandi. It's a free kick maneuver right from the training ground. Mtandi again on the left boot, has a whack and takes it wide. There was a slight deflection on her shot. Snapshot attempt by Mtandi. Waited for the ball to sit up perfectly for her. It spun and it forced her to wait. And wait she did. She wasn't miles off. Oratile Mokoena and Isabella Ludwig warming up in the background. Rabale in charge of the corner kick. Rabale goes in. It's missed everybody in the box. Mtandi, she delivers from the other side. And an easy gather for Hazel Nali. And the respective leagues that Zesco Ndola and Sundowns form part of is massively different to one another. The local Hollywood Bet Super League runs until the latter months of the year, while Zesco Ndola ladies were crowned Zambian champions relatively recently in May, when they defeated the Trident Queens. The ladies in green and orange went through the 34-game season undefeated in Zambia, winning 31 of those 34 matches. And in the process, declaring an end to the dynasty of the Green Buffaloes. This time it's a different shade of green that's present here at this competition. Mamelodi Sundowns still with their foot on the gas. Hadebe. Not the cross she wanted to deliver. And the pressure here is the goalkeeper. She's closed down by Magia. And it's the great escape for her and for her team. And now they're going to introduce a substitute at Zesco Ndola. tall, powerful player in the shape of Mila Mlambo to take the place of Charity Mubanga, who was unable to occupy those Mamelodi Sundowns centre half. But that number 10, Mlambo, certainly has the frame to occupy both Makubela and Mbane at the same time. We saw how that defensive pairing of Makubela and Mbane struggled against the Super Falcons of Nigeria, struggled against that physical attack. Sometimes, not all the time, of course. She could make an instant impact. Yeah, she looks offside, but she'll just want to finish it. Flag does go up. Instead, it was Mulubwa. That is all that it takes for his ladies to score against Mamelodi Sundowns, to draw level against the most successful team this competition has ever known. Esani takes a huge tumble and cartwheels herself into, hopefully not an injury. The landing was much more fierce than the tackle, I think. Took a knock to the head, took a knock to the lower back, took a knock to the thigh, did Esani. As for Piri, she's just receiving an ice pack to the knee, I think. But that would just have taken the wind out of her sails. And it might be the right time just to take her off as a precautionary measure. So if you missed the goal, you missed an absolute banger. Here it is. Rabale patiently waiting for it. And sticking it away with Rabale ruthlessness. What a goal. What a truly stunning goal. And she makes it look easy. It's anything but. Mokoena, Ludwig. Two midfielders, two different kind of midfielders that Godfrey Sapula will call upon now. It'll be Mokwena's first few minutes in this competition, actually. As for Ludwig, she had a second half substitute appearance against Ntopwa in the first round, and she had a real golden chance to score as well, did Isabella Ludwig. But Esane is off and Mokoena is on to take her place. And Ludwig will replace Rabale. Product of the University of Pretoria and Lesotho's finest. Rabale off. Receives a warm embrace from Isabella Ludwig. She gets stuck in already. Does Ludwig? Should be a Sundowns throw, that, and it's a good call by the Lions lady. Always difficult to say when there's so many legs mixed up with one another. Two years ago, when Sundowns last formed part of these qualifiers in Durban, the Brazilians won all 3 of their group matches. And they did so without conceding a single goal and scoring 16 of their own in those 3 group matches. So far in this competition, they are 4-0. 4 for nothing, hoping for more. Magia to fellow substitute Ludwig. Was on a weaker foot. Wanted a much better delivery there, did Godfrey Sapula. He was off screen. And that, I presume, is Isabella Ludwig's family. Hope I'm not mistaken. Tandi is just receiving a splash of water to the face. Received the studs of Mable Bwalya on her knee there. Did Tandi. And she's offered up another fine display. Mamelodi Sundowns just controlling more and more of the ball as the game has gone on. 61% of it belonging in their hands. Kwena nods it to Donnelly. And she takes a yellow card. Does the Banyana international? No warning. Straight yellow card for Manel Donnelly. There is more than enough time for another goal in this match. But the question is, who will score it? You would think that Mamelodi Sundowns definitely look the more likely to. But you can never say with certainty. I think they were just double checking that Donnelly yellow card. Play continues, resumes nonetheless. Kubela let it bounce. Mbane with a shanked clearance, but a clearance irrespectively. So this game now starting to peter out. But do Zesco Ndola still have the energy to draw level? Here goes their substitute. That looked really promising by Mila Mlambo. And it's rather strange to see Mila Mlambo play down the left-hand side. Because of her tall stature, you would think she's better suited to playing right through the middle. I think we witnessed 2 yellow cards in the first match and 2 yellow cards in this one. Good amount of fair play on show, I would say. Biana. Tandi. Ludwig. Almost fell for her. So Mamelodi Sundowns were paired with Costa do Sol and Young Buffaloes of Eswatini and Olympique de Moroni 2 years ago. This year Mamelodi Sundowns are playing against teams they've never played against before. And that in and of itself is a tricky challenge to navigate. Here goes Ludwig. Ludwig continues. Tandi. Magia over the head of Donnelly. Who almost seemed to have ducked. Zesco Ndola really need to give it everything they have for the remainder of this match, because you can't just help feel that they haven't played to their utmost best today. They've been happy to play second fiddle. And again, a yellow card to Magia for back-chatting the referee. Not for a foul of any kind. We're heading into now or never territory for Zesco Ndola. A loss here, of course, won't be the end of the world. They will back themselves to defeat Ntopwa on Tuesday afternoon. But they are still in the running for at least a point against Mamelodi Sundowns, which is a monumental point indeed. Another substitute appearance for Mali. Utandi, squeaky clean again. Shoe shine stuff from her this afternoon. Mali can produce much of the same, although she's further back in her development, much younger. Now there is a possibility, of course, that Mamelodi Sundowns and Zesco Ndola girls may reunite in the final of this competition. Granted, of course, that both these two teams progress. That will be the case, you would assume, if Zesco Ndola are to defeat Ntopwa on Tuesday. They can't play against one another in the semi-finals. So a possible rematch in the final is on the cards. And what a story that would be. But there's so much football to come from today until next Sunday, when the winner will be crowned. Remember that only 1 out of the 10 teams will go on. Ronald Donnelly. The left knee, she's holding on to her left knee and she's feeling the pain. She really is feeling the pain. Now, is it just an impact blow? You would certainly hope so for her sake. But it's a nasty one. You can quite visibly see on her facial expression she's not enjoying this one bit. That inside part of your knee is a rather tender part. And if you're hit there, it can be agonizingly painful. Well, they'll be happy, granted, if their team can see it out. Mamelodi Sundowns supporters mixed in with some of the neutrals and some of the locals, of course. The stadium has been a wonderful host ground of COSAFA competitions before, and definitely the best dressed. Is that man? No real goalmouth entertainment in this second half. But a typical Sundowns performance of late. And Ronald Donnelly is making her way off the field of play, and she is doing so in a fashion no one likes to see. It's concerning for Godfrey Sapula. It's concerning for all South Africans. It's concerning for Desiree Ellis. But I suspect it's difficult to say. Hopefully it's not a long-term injury and it's just an impact blow. Because Ronald Donnelly is some talent. For now, Mamelodi Sundowns will have to do without her. they might need to change. They might need to bring someone else in, or they're going to end this match off with 10 ladies on the park, which gives Zesco Ndola girls a chance. Four minutes have been added. Hadebe, Isabella Ludwig got a touch, but not a telling touch. And now the rush from Zesco Ndola ladies is quite visible. But have they left it too late? You would suspect so. It was a warm round of applause for Ronelle Donnelly as she made her way into the tunnel on the stretcher. If Sundowns can see this out, a place in the semi-finals is, so to say, guaranteed. But it's never over. It's never quite over until the final whistle, especially when a Zambian outfit like Zesco Ndola are on the field of play. Now all of a sudden Mamelodi Sundowns feel and seem anxious and nervous. Ramalepe. Again, I don't see anything particularly wrong with that challenge by Ramalepe. 50-50 duel. Made good contact with the ball. Yes, she collided with the opposite number, but you have to allow a certain level of physicality. Be that as it may. Chance this is for Piri, for Zesco Ndola, for the hopes of Zambia. There she goes, Piri. A floaty, fairy-like delivery. And easy enough for the Brazilians. Piri, wearing the number 7, has undoubtedly been Zesco Ndola's best player on the park today. And you are struggling to find the second best player. They really haven't offered much in this game, Zesco Ndola, and yet they only conceded 1 goal. And they could go on to equalize. Milan Lambo claiming a handball, but apart from her, no real appeals. Piri meets it with her head. Diana fails to do so. Ludwig. Hadebe. Magia. Ludwig. Mali did really well there. Magia to Mali, who still has it, but she's got Bwalia, the captain, for company. Ludwig. Magia went down in the box. Ramalepe. Now this, you would think, is it. Last chance this is for Zesco Ndola. They need to launch it up there, launch it towards the box of Mamelodi Sundowns and hope for the best, hope for the second ball to drop for someone. Kwena, Mbane. Mamelodi Sundowns supporters living very nervously. Hearts in mouths moment. Stoppage time is up. Stoppage time is up, but this game is not over just yet. It is now. Mamelodi Sundowns conquer Zesco Ndola, and they go 2 from 2. And they take one massive leap into making an appearance in the semi-final stage. Yet to lose a game in this competition in regulation time. They've won all of their group matches in the past, and they've made a perfect start to the 2025 CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers. Zesco Ndola stuck in there. They held on until the very end. They gave themselves an opportunity, but don't let the scoreline deceive you, should I say. It was a rather domineering display by Mamelodi Sundowns, which might not make sense because they only scored one goal. But domineering indeed, controlling indeed. Mamelodi Sundowns, favourites to win this title. And now, most certainly, the table toppers in Group A. It's going to take some effort. They are going to take some stopping. And it remains to be seen who will stop them. This is the lady of the match, Boitumelo Rabale, with her special strike in that first half. A typical Rabale goal, if I have ever seen one before. And that is how the full-time scoreline reads. Sundowns ladies 1, Zesco Ndola girls 0. Both Sundowns and Zesco Ndola will play their third and final group match on Tuesday. But this is their report card after the second group game. Zesco Ndola girls only producing the 1 goal attempt. So Sundowns ladies definitely deserve to capture this result. And they definitely deserve to claim top spot in Group A. But that's it from us for now. For today, you can catch us again tomorrow. Let's see what let's hear, should I say, what the coaches have to say.
Coach William, had luck on the results this afternoon. There were glimpses of great play from your players. Talk to me about the game.
Well, it's a tough game. Yes, they closed all the spaces, and we tried to push up front there. Then we managed to hold them, but went to sleep, and they got that easy goal.
It's back to the drawing board for you. What are you working on?
This game is what under the bridge. We are looking to the last one.
And your takeaway so far, Coach, in the 2 games you've played here at the qualifiers?
Sorry?
Your takeaways so far at the tournament from the games you've played?
Yeah, we have. I've learned 1 or 2 things in this tournament. It's a very competitive tournament, and there is no pushovers. You just have to work hard to reap what you want to get. But we are still in contention.
Speaking of still being in contention, Coach, you take on Ntopa FC of Malawi in your next match. A crucial win for you is needed there.
They are not pushovers. They are good side. They are good side. We just have to go flat out and work hard. If we say Ntopa haven't won any game, they might start winning on us. But we are not sleeping. We have to complete our mission. Our mission is to qualify to the semi-finals. Then we'll see the way forward. So we'll go, work hard, come and reap the positive results. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Had luck today.
Thank you very much.
All right, joined now by winning coach of Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah. Coach? Oh, okay.
Coach, 2 out of 2 for you today. How are you feeling?
Yeah, well, we are pleased with the performance, you know. It was not easy, and we didn't expect an easy match here today. We knew it was going to be difficult, you know. But yeah, we're proud of the girls. I mean, we showed that we can play pretty, but we can also play with heart and fight, you know. We suffered the last 10 minutes or so when Ronald got injured, but you could see that the fighting spirit, you know, the desire, the willingness to say we're going to hang on and make sure that we collect maximum points was there from the girls, you know. For me, it's a good sign that we're not only a team that can just dominate and enjoy possession, but we're showing that when we need to roll our sleeves and just fight and put personality and character, we're able to do so, you know.
Do we have an update on her injury?
I'm not really sure. We'll get an update from the medical department after this. We're hoping it's not that bad. We're crossing our fingers, Yeah, but we are really proud of the girls. And one thing again, we played really well again first half, but in terms of converting our chances, we still need to improve in that department.
And your thoughts on that disallowed goal, coach?
I don't know. I think it was a good action, but where I am, I could not tell if it's offside or not. But with the VAR, we gotta trust that they got it right. So it means now we gotta work on timing and making those runs, so that we stay on side, But yeah, good performance overall.
Talk to me about that, the importance of that early goal scored by Rabale just to set the tone.
Yeah, we said it. We said we needed an early goal to get settled, because we thought even in the domestic league, we start late, we start playing second half. We thought it's important that we impose our game early, and make sure that we score so that we get settled. But we didn't do that very well, because I think we could have played a little bit better, I think Nokolo got 2 chances also. We could have buried one. Maybe it was going to be a different story. But we keep working, we keep trying, We've been working on finishing, But I'm satisfied that we keep trying to create chances. But it's work in progress. We'll keep working in terms of improving our finishing.
And coach, you next face the Beauties FC, who won their match today. What do you know about them?
Yeah, we watched a bit. I think we watched them the first game when they played against Zesco. We watched them again here today. Yeah, we are quite aware of what they can bring. But yeah, for us, we're going to take one game at a time. And we'll also use that game to improve certain things in our game. Make sure that we progress to the next stage. But we're not going to underestimate any opponent.
Thank you, coach. Well done today.
Welcome. Thank you.
Tandi again for Sundowns. Here's Soko. Here's Mulenga. And now Biana, who wants to assert her dominance in the midfield. She goes further. Biana, good spot. Chance. Huge opportunity. Will it fall for someone? Perhaps Rabale. Biana went for goal and scuffed it. Expect this defense to be more stubborn than in Topwa. Esani, Tolakele, Rabale on the volley! What a goal! What a goal! And what a player! It didn't take her long at all. Mamelodi Sundowns break the deadlock, courtesy of their Diski queen. The technique, outrageous. And it's her first goal of the competition, and what a goal it was. But are we even that surprised? Are we really that surprised when Rabale does something like this? Second assist of the tournament as well for Tolakele. It's what you call hold-up play. Bringing your teammates into play, and Rabale does not need a second invitation.